What's going on, guys? So on this channel, I do a lot of videos over anxiety disorders, various mental issues, panic attacks, things that I've suffered from. Health anxiety, something I still kind of struggle with, but I try to keep it at bay, and I do a really good job at controlling it. I love giving advice to you guys. I still don't think mental awareness is where it needs to be. I think it's something that's swept under the rug. It's not everybody's problem, so nobody wants to deal with it. Mental issues are just as bad as physical issues, and can end up killing you just like a physical problem can, or just keep you, chained to the wall. It's one of the most ironic, the most depressing thing ever. It really is. Mental issues are very hard to overcome. It takes therapy, it takes cognitive therapy, it takes changing your diet, your exercise. It requires a lot on your part to rewire your brain. And medications are just thrown out there, so not really fixing the root problem. But a story came out yesterday about Kevin Love, an NBA player, five-time All-Star, 2016 NBA champion. He plays along LeBron James with the Cleveland Cavaliers, my favorite team. LeBron James, my favorite player, so it hit home. He left a game a while back after halftime from what was at the time considered an illness, a stomach problem. The team kind of got upset about it, wondered why he had just out of nowhere just left and went to the hospital. They were like, this is just weird. They didn't believe him, basically. A lot of drama with the Cleveland Cavaliers anyways this year, if you follow basketball. So he left, and then again he had another illness a little bit later on in the game. And these illnesses, were just kind of confused. He ended up getting a broken hand, and he's out. He was out for like 6 to 8 weeks. He should be coming back soon. But he opened up yesterday. It took a lot of strength and courage, as a NBA player, a 6'10" man on top of the world who has it all, to come out and share that he was actually having panic attacks, and he's actually seeking help and counseling or therapy now. And good for him. But it shows that even having all this money and having an important position, in sports and being a great player, this stuff still can get you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't care about all that stuff. And apparently during that game, there was a lot of tension. They were letting this team come back. One of the coaches was doing a defensive scheme, and it was coming across, loud and like yelling, apparently, as if I recall the article stating. So it just kind of hit him out of nowhere. He said his mind was racing. He felt like he couldn't get away. And like many of us that have panic attacks, you just kind of stop everything and you take off running. And I remember that's how my panic attack was. I thought I was dying, and that's, how he felt. He didn't know what was going on. He said he couldn't breathe, and he hyperventilating, and that's just, classic signs and of, a panic attack. And it took a lot of courage, not just, we say it takes a lot of courage, and some people will be like, oh wow, he admits he had a panic attack, big deal. But he's a I'm not gonna say he's like a man in power, but he's a man with an influence on people. He's up there. He's not supposed to be dealing with this problem. He's won an NBA championship. He's a 6'10" man. Powerful, tall basketball player. So it takes a lot of courage as somebody in that position. And DeMar DeRozan, another amazing player for the Toronto Raptors. Probably about a week and a half ago, there's an article about him coming out, how he's just really struggling with depression, and it's probably eased up a little bit, made kind of a path for Kevin Love to kind of follow through that, and an easier way to do that, because, a lot of people are going to call these guys just weak. A lot of people you're just weak-minded. No, we're all built different. Our brains work in different ways, and it is extremely difficult to deal with depression, anxiety disorder, panic disorder, health anxiety. These are things that I deal with all the time. So I know I deal with this also on my channel. I'm helping people with them. I don't suffer any of these horribly anymore. Luckily, I have actually dug myself out of that rut. If you're visiting this channel for the first time, I'm going to put a playlist up here on anxiety disorder and stress and all that good stuff. It includes a lot of things like panic attacks and depression. So be sure to check that out, guys. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell next to it. Leave me a comment down below if you've heard this story, or if you have any extra thoughts about Kevin Love kind of coming out about his panic disorder issue. And I wish him the best of luck. I wish that team the best of luck. I hope they can just get it together and win the whole thing this year. But just a cool little news story that came out that I thought I would share with you guys. I hope you are having a good one out there, and y'all take care.